Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you feel captive by fear, doubt, lack, or even your past. But let me encourage you, your voice can still bring freedom, not just for you, but for others. Hey, welcome back to the Stuck No More Voices podcast. I'm Theresa Croft. Today's episode is very personal to me because it's about finding your voice even when you're in captivity or feeling like you're in a prison. Maybe you feel criticized, or maybe you have some judgment going on, and or circumstances that feel like change. You're like in a prison of your own making, and you don't know where the key is. I've been there. I fought for my voice when it felt like everything around me was trying to silence me. I fought for my voice. Oftentimes, I would wait till my late husband left for work and then I'd go live or I'd start doing some things that had to do with my voice. I later learned to just tough it out. But listen, despite the criticism you can press into, or despite feeling like chains are holding you back, God is calling you into something. Captivity doesn't have to cancel. Come on, you're calling. So I want to reference a powerful story that really impacted me while I was in the midst of my situation. It's Second Kings 5, verses 2 through 6. Write that down. Second Kings 5, 2 through 6, because God may speak to you like he spoke to me in this verse. So there were bands of raiders from Aram that had taken captive a young girl from Israel. Are you following with me? She was far from home and she was serving in the house of her enemies. By all accounts, she had no positions, no power, no freedom, and yet she chose to speak. She told her mistress, the one she was serving, who was the wife of Naaman, that there was a prophet in Samaria who could heal Naaman. She spoke up. Come on. Naaman was suffering from leprosy. And that one sentence, that one act of courage by this young Israel girl set into motion a chain of events that ended in Naaman's healing. Her captivity did not silence her. Her voice became the spark for a miracle. Now, maybe you feel like that little girl. Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you feel captive by fear, doubt, lack, or even your past. But let me encourage you, your voice can still bring freedom, not just for you, but for others. So I got 3 tips for you. Get a pen. I want you to write these down. For finding your voice, even when you feel like you're in captivity or even when you are in some sort of captive situation. Tip number 1, acknowledge the captivity, but refuse to stay silent. We don't need to hide the fact that we feel trapped sometimes. Maybe it's financial lack. That can really feel trapped and like you can't do anything. I understand. But maybe it's just fear of failure. Maybe it's relationships that feel controlling. But here's the truth. Even in those moments, your voice still carries weight. You don't have to wait for freedom to speak. I remember when I retired from radio in 2006. I was determined to still help my family's finances. I retired because our family was moving. It was like choose my family or choose my radio job. So I chose my family. And as I started to learn in those moments that did feel like captivity because of just surrounded by so much stuff, so much control, jealousy. But I would get up early in the morning to learn. And then I eventually, as I learned, I would went on Facebook Live. Back in the day when you go on Facebook Live and the hundreds fall trickle in. They don't do that like now. And I'd speak. I wouldn't tell about my situation. I wouldn't speak from my wounds, but I would speak hope from the overflow of my relationship with God because I was learning stuff. Even as I was in all this, that was my resting place. I kept going and I would speak And I actually eventually, off my Listen to the Vine Dresser post, had some one-to-ones with women and led them into my first academy, the Redeem Your Voice Academy. This is back in 2019. So, point number 2, speak from your scars, not just from your wounds and not just your victories. Speak from your scars. People don't need to see a polished, perfect version of you. They need to hear your authentic voice. The servant girl didn't have status or success. Mm-mm. But listen, that didn't stop her. Her testimony pointed Naaman toward healing. So the things you've walked through, your scars, are the very places where God can release the greatest impact through you. Sometimes your misery becomes your destiny. You go from the landmines to landmarks. I'm learning this anew about this as I was recently diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer, February 14th. And I think the reason I was able to make that a scar quicker is because God asked me, I'd laid out on the biopsy table. And God said, Theresa, this could be another story for my glory. My first reaction was, God, I got a story in 26 years of hell. And God said it again, Theresa, are you willing to make this another story for my glory? I said, yes. Breast cancer, 2 cancer surgeries, and learning to rest in the midst of captivity. Number 3, remember your voice is a seed. The girl's words planted the idea of healing that was possible for Naaman's life. Your voice may not solve every problem, but it can point someone toward hope, toward God, toward healing. Every time you speak life, you're planting seeds that God will water in His time. So I want to ask you, what's holding you captive today? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it a sense of lack? The enemy wants you to believe that your voice is powerless. But just like the young girl, your words could be the very thing that unlocks freedom for someone else. Don't underestimate the power of your voice, friend. You could be the one who sparks healing, who sparks revival. You can be the one who ignites hope. Your voice can be the one voice who shows others what freedom looks like, even if you're still walking through your own journey. Friend, captivity does not define you. Your scars do not silence you. Your voice is a weapon, a seed, a light. And when you dare to use it, you're not just setting yourself free, you're leading others into healing too. So today, I challenge you to use your voice to speak. Choose to be the one that plants that seed. Choose to be the one who speaks so that others can see Jesus in you. So I'm so glad you could join me for this edition of the Stuck No More Voices Academy. Hey, listen, I have a free webinar. Yeah, join me on the other side, outlining how you can speak in a podcast. You're not too late if you're listening now. Go to the link in the show notes. You can be there just in time, and I'm waiting there for you. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next episode of the Stuck No More Voices podcast.